Hi, I'm Amy Cervini.
I'm Hilary Gardner.
And I'm Melissa Stilianu.
And we are Duchess.
When we started singing together, we discovered that humor, collaboration, and yes, imperfection were essential ingredients for our signature style of harmony.
We're setting out to explore what harmony means to creative people from all walks of life, and to learn how they find joy and success in their chosen field.
Along the way, there's sure to be laughter, storytelling, and probably hijinks. That's just who we are.
Are we live?
We are.
Oh my god.
Woo!
Hey everybody.
Woo! Welcome.
Welcome.
It's our favorite. It's our favorite day today because we're back on track
We're back.
with our
With the alphabet?
the alphabet of alcohol and Duchess.
The first one of 2018.
It is.
Okay, how is it the end of
I
whatever
don't know.
month it is?
We kind of went dry a little bit.
Yeah.
Duchess
You know, that's not true because
What?
in our last podcast, and I don't know how these are going to air, but we got pretty wasted.
We did,
Oh, that's
actually.
true.
The one that's
Yeah.
2 hours long, probably going to be.
Yeah.
Guys, I have to work after this.
It was with a
All right,
sommelier, so
fine.
now we're kind of getting into a theme.
We are. I like this theme.
Yeah,
Drinking
I
on
do
air.
too.
Yeah.
Not live.
Not
D
live,
is
but-
for Duchess.
Yes. So this episode, D is for Duchess. And if you don't know, and I don't know how it's possible because we talk about it at length a lot of times, we had a show at the Jazz Standard in 2016. It was a really long time ago.
It was.
That long ago?
It was really that long ago. And we approached the fine folks at the Jazz Standard and said, what do you think about doing a specialty cocktail? Because we were doing a variety hour and we were doing a lot of circus-y kinds of things. So we said, what do you think about that? And our friend Martin said, I think that's a great idea. I'm going to pass you on to Grant. And so
Hey,
today we have brought Grant Gardner in.
No relation.
No,
Yeah, no relation.
yeah, they did a little ancestry.com and there's no
relation, but we
link.
would be willing to dig deeper if Ancestry.com would like to sponsor
Exactly.
our podcast.
There you go. Yeah, I'll do all kinds of digging. Maybe we're related.
It's possible. I did find out I'm 100% Yorkie though, so.
Oh.
I wasn't sure. Yorkie poo.
I'm a Pomeranian.
Right. But now I know.
Wow.
So we sent Grant our top 3 cocktail ingredients.
All right.
Each of us.
Each of us.
What were they? Do you have
So
them?
yeah, I
Glad
do.
you asked.
Oh, great, yeah.
Yes. Mine were Chambord, Aperol, and Vermouth. Hilary was Prosecco, rhubarb, and thyme. And Melissa was orange rind, obvi. This is what she wrote, by the way. Flowers or essence or something reminiscent of. And Lillet. And there is an existing Duchess recipe, but they spell it with a T, so I feel like it doesn't count.
Also,
Totally not.
it looked gross.
And it was, sorry. Sorry, whoever this was.
Not sorry. Wait, is that why there's a big bowl of oranges in the middle
In
of
the
this
middle,
podcast?
it was actually
That's just happenstance.
it serves both 2 purposes. My son really likes oranges,
Great.
and I got delivery groceries,
Nice.
so that's a great time to buy a bag of
We're
oranges.
gonna need a knife though.
We are going to need a knife. We have some planning to do
We have
here.
teeth. Come on.
Oh my! So with those, Grant concocted a specialty cocktail.
Not
but-
with all of them. He
No,
pared the list down,
he did.
so it
It
made
sounds to me, and
a
I'm
little
not like I'm
sense.
keeping track, but I think he took one item from each of our lists,
it's
which
the
was
truth.
very
That's
democratic.
nice.
Yeah,
I like
he
that.
knows. He knows.
He knows how to deal with 3 chick
I
singers.
can't play favorites.
So, but before we go there, I just want everyone to meet Grant for a second because I found out a few things about you.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I know. I was very excited. So, did you know, ladies, that Grant has a master's in jazz guitar
What?
Yeah, still paying for it.
and his undergrad as well? Grant is a guitarist.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
My running joke is that I'm in recovery.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I lapse,
I
twice
didn't
a year
know
to play
that.
a game. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, you got your degree and then you.
Yeah, I was playing and teaching after school in New York, and eventually got sick of teaching and just told everyone I knew, I don't want to teach anymore. Does anyone have a job for me? I'll do anything. And I got a job at a cafe, like as a busboy or something. And then another friend was working at the Blue Note, and said, hey, we need people to do coat check. Would you want to do that? Sure. Whatever. Free tickets, cash in my pocket. Great. Started doing that, and then ended up working at the Blue Note for like 5 years in any role they would let me.
Yeah, you ended up like doing marketing.
Yeah.
And PR
Oh, wow.
for them, right?
I also like learned to bartend there. Any job that opened, I was like, hey, can I do the door? Great, you can do the door. Hey, can I bartend? Sure, let him bartend. And like the marketing guy left,
guy
I was
won't
like,
go
can I
away.
do the marketing? The owner was like, yeah, fine, whatever. So like 5 years later, I'm like doing all their marketing for like their festival and all their stuff. And it was great. And so slowly over time of being there, like when I first started there, I was like trying to gig and like leave early to go do a gig or whatever. And then sort of just snowballed into only doing that. And then when the gig at Jazz Standard opened up, it was sort of a no-brainer.
Right.
So I fell off slowly.
It's a taper, but time to focus on your true passion, alcohol.
Yeah.
No, wait, that's our true passion.
So when I was looking up stuff online, I found about 7 different titles for you at Blue Smoke Jazz Standard.
Okay.
So where are we at now? Is what I'm curious about.
My official title is Assistant General Manager for the business. Yeah.
Okay. Because I also saw beverage.
Right. So
Did you do the same thing when you got to Jazz Standard, just to try and do all the jobs?
no, I got a little more focused. But there was a 2-year period where I ran the beverage program for that location for upstairs Blue Smoke, the barbecue restaurant, and
That's a big operation.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, and I'm happy to not have to do inventory or order products or invoices or all the things that go with it. There's a lot of perks, obviously.
Is it great working for Danny Meyer?
Danny's the best.
Yeah, no, that's been my sense of everyone that I've known who has worked for Danny Meyer.
Really,
is that
he really is incredible, and like the company's great, and it's just nice to go to work and be surrounded by people that are awesome.
Yeah,
and they take care of their people, so it's just a good company.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing how that works,
right?
Go figure.
Yeah, I mean, especially in that industry, I'm like, this really isn't that complicated. If you take care of employees and treat them like human beings, and you hire nice people, I mean, it's like anything.
Right.
They'll stay, and it's fun.
Right.
Who knew?
Yeah,
Danny Meyer knew.
Formula.
That's who.
But it's funny especially in the jazz world or the venue world, to go somewhere. I went to an unnamed Live Nation venue recently for a big hip hop show, and I was just like blown away. I was like, no one here's nice to the crowd. They're like they're inconvenienced that you're there. They just want it to be over so they can go home. And like I get it. Working like a giant hip hop show is probably pretty stressful. They have like metal detectors and probably actual security concerns. Like we don't. If we had a metal detector at the club, that'd be hilarious.
For metal hips and sorry.
With our crowd, you get, like,
pacemakers.
It's a different world. I think we get in a bubble a little bit down.
Yeah.
There, 'cause we're like,
I think
everyone's not nice and happy. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, like you probably were saying that as I was closing the window, that it like trickles down from the top, or at least that's my feeling. It's been a while since I was in that environment, but I really feel like you can tell when people aren't being treated well, and it just
it's all about the vibe, man.
I have to say that we certainly feel it when we come in, as opposed to, I mean, not really as opposed to, but you really feel like people are psyched to see you when you come to the Jazz Standard to play, and that they appreciate, what you're doing, and everyone is always really helpful.
Yeah, but it really is top down. Like, it does start with Danny and Seth, who books the club. Like, he cares about the music, he cares about who plays, and it just, everyone feels that way. It's totally organic. It's not like this put on thing. I don't know. I could imagine like a jazz club at Disneyland. Be like, hi, welcome. You sound great.
We should play sometime.
You sound killing, brother. like it's I don't know. It's a cool place.
It's a very cool place. It's one of our favorite places to play.
Most deaf.
Yeah.
It's funny. After I started there, I went back. I was looking at the Yelp reviews to see what could we improve? What do people like? What do they not like? And found a review from myself, like 4 years before, like 5 stars, best jazz club in the city. And I was like, oh, right. That's so cool to work at a place that you already loved.
Oh, that's
awesome.
That is.
That's
it wasn't like
really
2 days
cool.
before your interview or something.
Right. This place is the best.
So let's talk about this drink.
Yeah.
I will also say that we are coming to play at the Jazz Standard.
Awesome.
So,
Cool,
ladies
let's
and
dive into
gentlemen,
Mark your calendars.
June 27th.
2018.
Yes, we will be there, and you can order one of these delightful beverages that we're about to have and make here on the show. So, D is for Duchess. You got our list. Obviously, some stuff just wasn't going to work together, but we think you did an amazing job of putting together one of each of our favorites.
I mean, if I'm being honest, it's like a dolled up Aperol spritz.
But you know, if you're being
But it's
honest,
dolled
Something
up.
special.
We're
just,
dolled up, yeah.
What? Okay, so
I-
Aperol
well, yeah,
spritz
maybe I
is
shouldn't
just
sell it short.
yeah,
It's so much better than a spritz.
so much better. You missed my hair flip.
Yeah.
So Aperol spritz, though, that was
The addition of
our
Lillet,
A.
I think,
Yeah.
puts it over the top because that's good stuff.
Yeah, Lillet is delicious.
I love Lillet.
Are they sponsoring this? They should.
They should. We actually we were trying to get that happening. We'll keep
It's all about
saying
sponsorship.
Southern Wine and Spirits if you're listening.
Yeah. I'll call the rep.
Yeah. So we have here some Aperol Lillet, Prosecco. We had this last time on our show too. By the way, this Prosecco. We just had the rosé version last time.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Brand.
yes.
Yeah. And Grant's gonna make some for us.
Yeah, it's too bad it's not shaken. I'll do it.
Right.
But
Yeah, we'll just. Well, this we're gonna have some nice. We can
Make
make
it in
sounds.
this. We have a big bowl of ice cubes on the table.
mix it in.
Make
We'll
it
just
like
put
a
a
bowl
straw.
of punch.
a bowl of spritz.
My goodness.
I don't. So
You know what I don't have is the little measuring thing, but I figure you could probably eyeball. We can tell people
Yeah, I'm a professional.
what the. And so what we're gonna do right now actually is have Josh Wynn, our friend, and just introduce this drink for you all.
Raise a glass and toast the debut of the Duchess Variety Hour with the Duchess, a signature cocktail by the Jazz Standard's ace mixologist. Lillet, Aperol, orange bitters, and sparkling wine combine to create a tipple as elegant and effervescent as the Duchess gals themselves. When you purchase the Duchess, you'll receive a keepsake commemorative coaster, the perfect way to remember an evening filled to the brim with music, laughter, and hashtag girl-on-girl harmony.
How about it for Josh?
Yes.
And for the Jazz Standard for this delightful libation, which
is delicious.
it really is a thing. It's really
So if I remember right, I could be wrong, but I know there's definitely orange peel in Aperol.
there is.
And there might also be rhubarb.
It's bitter orange and there is
Right,
rhubarb.
which is one of the reasons I think when rhubarb was on the list,
Yeah.
I was
Right.
like,
Oh, so you got two, huh?
sorry. I didn't
I
see
wasn't
that.
going
That's
to bring that up. I was just sitting here cradling that information like a little baby
Well, we
bird,
might need some
but
napkin,
now
because
it's
I'm so
out
messy.
there.
Napkin, I can do that. Oh,
Ow.
Kleenex.
Is that okay?
Fine.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, you have kids though, so you're probably used to
I am.
stuff everywhere.
Spilled alcohol.
Yeah.
all over the
Yeah. Those kids
Well,
can't,
that's true.
can't hold their own.
There's a photo online
Sloppy
of
drunks, both of
Ethan
them.
drinking a daiquiri, it looks like.
Yeah, someone
Your child?
my voice teacher from college asked if that was a margarita, and someone commented, "Well, he is Amy's child, so my guess is yes." It is not, everyone. It was a smoothie
Okay.
in a fancy vacation cup. That's all.
All right, let's
Here we go.
this.
This is my favorite
Well, if I
part.
do it right, you shouldn't.
I
hear it.
know. We learned that
Be
last
fine.
time.
Yeah, but we
But
actually-
Fred challenged that. Our sommelier guest challenged
Oh, yeah?
the assumption. He said, but it's a happy sound, and
Sure.
nicely done.
Very nice.
Yeah, should we? My hands are clean.
Yeah.
Or how do
Yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
Because
Or you
then
just
all that
hand it on
alcohol
ice?
will
yeah,
kill
it'll clean
anything.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, yes.
I think my hands are clean.
He says.
Except for that
The alcohol
man on
will
the
burn
subway
away all
I
the
gave a
germs.
neck massage to on my way here.
We
Hey,
have this
brother.
tradition at work. So anyone who's brand new, their very first time, we have a staff lineup every day. There's like 50 of us, and we just drill them with questions for 2 minutes, whatever people want to ask. Like, what's your favorite Nicolas Cage movie? What superpower do you wish you had? Why are
Wow,
you
it's the
working
Duchess
here?
questionnaire. That's
Right,
great.
It's just, but it's totally random, so it can go into weird places. Like, what's your Harry Potter house, and I don't know.
Oh.
People
Okay.
go down some.
That
rabbit
wasn't
holes.
the direction I was headed. I'm glad that you're here.
But what you made me think of is one of the most consistent questions we end up asking is, "What's the weirdest thing you've seen on the subway?" And that would be up there is just like randomly giving a homeless guy a neck massage. And it's great asking people that like, "Oh, I just moved here from
jeez.
wherever, and I'm an actor, and I've been here 3 weeks." And we're like, "What's the weirdest thing you've seen on the subway?" And like without fail, you get some weird,
Just something
answer.
horrifying
Yeah,
immediately.
just like naked guy running through the terminal, not taking the train anywhere. Anyway.
Yeah. No, it's true. It is.
Yep.
It is a rite of passage.
Oh, this is
that
so fantastic.
Beautiful.
I mean, could that be lovelier?
No.
Yes.
Melissa, are you on it? You want to take a picture?
Yeah, I'm not sure if the angle is right.
This is delightful.
I have to say that whenever I'm at the Jazz Standard, I see who's tending bar to see if they might know how to make a Duchess. Because I always want one when I'm at the Jazz Standard.
I think we should. I'll just make sure everybody knows.
I thought
solve
they all
that
knew.
problem.
It could make it onto the menu. Let's get Danny Meyer on board here.
Well, I do get the occasional like text or frantic bartender who's just run up 2 flights of stairs, be like, "What? How do I? What's and how many dashes of bitters?" And I'm like, "It's gonna be okay." Breathe.
That maybe when
forgot
I've
almost
been
forgot
there
what
by
it is.
myself, I'm like, I'll have a Duchess. Completely,
like everyone
And our
knows.
really friendly
Yeah.
staff is
Like it's like
"Great, I'll be
ordering a
right back."
Cosmopolitan. You're like, you don't know.
yeah, I've totally done it
Duchess.
before, and it's
all
great.
That's so fun. You guys had a sommelier on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's. I worked with him many moons ago at BLT Fish.
All right.
He was just starting out. He went on. He became a master somm, and
Whoa.
he's like very schmancy young
Wait,
dude
what's
about
his name?
10. Fred Dexheimer.
Dexheimer, yeah.
Yeah.
Wild, crazy.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of master sums, so they're all pretty well known.
Right, yeah.
Amongst beverage people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
should
so we got
cut
wasted
some
with
more-
Fred.
right here.
Okay, I'm just smelling this. Wow.
Are those
Orange bitters.
Angostura?
Orange bitters.
Yeah.
Ah.
But the Angostura brand.
They
make them.
Wowzer.
For those of you at home making your own and following along,
Right.
the original recipe called for Gary Regan's orange bitters.
It did.
Ooh.
It
Okay.
did. That's
Is
right.
that your preference?
I love a bitters
just what
and
they have at
soda,
the club.
too.
I
If
mean,
your tummy's a
whatever.
little
Yeah.
upset.
Never done.
I don't know. There's
It's-
a
I
lot of
do-
bitters companies, right? I used to live in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Gary
true,
in
there's so
particular
many
is like
fancy
a crazy
bitters.
old man who's like a famous cocktail writer. He has a cocktail workshop upstate like I went to, and he's nuts, and he's famous for doing like finger stirred Negronis at like giant cocktail parties where he's like finger stirring Negronis like 50 at a time, and he doesn't
I
measure anything.
am not like
I just grabbed
I
ice
am
with
not
my bare
fully
hands.
OCD, and I'm fine with your grabbing the ice with the bare hands. But that image of somebody like frantically mixing a bunch of cocktails with their finger, like, of course, that's like an upstate hipstery kind of event.
I
Because
don't know if I call him hipster. It is
no, I
pretty-
mean the people who are like, "Ooh, I have to
Oh,
have
yeah,
that
yeah.
finger stirred Negroni," must be hipsters.
right. Someday, like when I have my own bar or club,
Yeah.
finger stirred Negroni is definitely on the menu.
Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Please have a vat of Purell next to whatever and just bloop and then finger stir the night. It's just more alcohol.
All right, shall we?
Let's.
Yes.
Shall we?
I
note
noticed that you-
we're doing this on my day off.
Your orange fell. It slipped. Thank you for coming
Just
in.
don't tell Danny I'm
on your day
spritzing
off.
before work.
Spritzing. He definitely has a day off
So,
today.
knowing Danny,
This is
I think he would support it. That's delicious.
yeah.
Wow.
that orange bitters really does give it a
does.
little something. It keeps it from being
Man.
at all cloying. You know, it just kind of
Yeah.
little backbone in there.
Bitters
It's
are great.
nice. Yeah.
I drink a lot of just seltzer and bitters, and not because
That's what Hilary was just saying.
That was my pregnancy drink.
Yeah, every time I do, people are like, "Oh, is your stomach hurting?" No, I just want it.
It's good. Well, it's kind of festive with a big squeeze of lime in there too. Like
Yeah.
it feels like you're drinking a cocktail, but you're not. I mean, it's not
Right.
bad for
You
you.
should try stirring yours with your finger, your
I'm
own
just-
finger.
Your own finger.
It
Do it.
it adds character.
Salt, maybe?
Oh, there she goes. There she goes.
She's doing it.
I'm not fast enough to get a picture.
See, now you have to lift your finger. Yeah.
Okay, well, I got that picture, though.
You're
so-
welcome.
Perfect.
I mean,
That's delicious. I hope
is
you're,
a tasty beverage.
I hope
It
you're
is.
drinking along at home.
Yeah. I wish I had breakfast.
There's fruit in this.
There's an
Right.
orange.
Color.
Just finish that orange.
Yeah.
I feel like down at the club, I wasn't able to appreciate the bright color. I mean, when I'm drinking
know,
it, watching a
the dark.
show
I
in the
think
dark.
they put also a little more ice. in the club because the instructions. No. I like this.
It's
No more
perfect.
ice. The instructions that you gave say full cup of ice,
Oh, that sounds right.
and they have bigger glasses. I think.
Yeah.
Your glasses aren't this tiny, right?
No.
No, because it's prettier when they're bigger. And these are from IKEA.
It
so.
is such a beautiful color.
Not yours.
Yeah.
Yours is a fancy one. But.
You know, in Italy, like it's always spritz o'clock. Like it just doesn't matter. It's just in Venice, lo spritz. And that's what you do. You sit down and you have lo spritz. And it's this beautiful color. They always serve it with like a huge olive, like one of those.
You know,
Oh, right.
It's really good. It took me a
Inside it?
second, but I
got my first
on the side or
spritz
in it?
in it.
Mine
Yeah.
was on the top, and all the like juices went into it. And I had the first one recently, and I was like, first of all, I don't understand, but okay, I'm going to try this. And I didn't like it. I didn't dig it. I don't know. Maybe just because if I had my first one with an olive, I think I would have. But I was
Right.
ready for something else, and that
Yeah.
salt thing just didn't.
Well,
work.
I mean, I never taste like maybe there was brine in it that shouldn't have been. Like
Maybe.
it's just the olive.
Right,
you know what I
but
mean?
it
They
has,
don't.
you
Yeah.
know, on the inside, it's pitted, so there's all
You
kinds
have
of
like,
ridges.
oh, see, they're not pitted. The ones in Venice, they're those huge. What are they, Castelvoltrano, or those? You know,
I
those
have some. Do you want
Yeah,
one?
they're like tough.
enormous. And they're like meaty. They're
Yeah.
steaky
They're really
olives,
bright
and
green, those
they're
ones?
they're pretty bright green, and they
I like those.
Yeah, and
gonna go
but
get
they
some.
definitely have the pit, so you're not getting a
I'm in.
bunch
I thought
of
you were going to the store
for a second.
salty brine in your
Right.
drink. But then you have it with like a little plate of potato chips or little tramezzini sandwiches, and it's just that's the thing. It's like
We could.
you have
know,
lo spritz.
The also the cocktail's not. You could change it if you want to add.
Right.
I'm just saying, if you guys want to update it for 2018, you can
Well, you
do
know,
a
you
new
can
garnish.
have also
Like an
people do
olive.
it with Campari. Like there's all different kinds of. My preference is Aperol. I feel like Campari for me is just too
much.
Too much.
I agree.
Too much what? Too
It's so bitter. It
I
is
like
so bitter.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. Yeah,
It's-
Campari
it-
soda.
A lot
That's
of
the
people
move.
really like it.
But I also, my drinking habits are like all over the map. I hang out with a lot of like quote unquote beverage people, like industry folks, sommeliers, whatever.
Do you drink chartreuse? Fred mentioned
totally.
chartreuse. Oh my God.
I did a shot of chartreuse and Fernet last night mixed together.
Jesus
And the guy
Christ.
brought it to us. He's like, this
Together?
is called the Game Changer. And I'm like, yeah. And
If
you
by
like
game
it?
changer you mean I'll be barfing shortly, then yeah.
I mean, yeah, we took a left turn from like polite, like Grand Cru vintage champagne and like fried bites to like being at a dive bar asking them to put like 50 Cent on the jukebox and like eating popcorn, playing Big Buck Hunter. Like, yeah, it was a game changer. But
I don't like them together. but-
so all my beverage quote unquote friends like kind of draw the line when it comes to beverages at a certain point where they're like, okay, if I'm not going to drink something nice, I'll just drink cheap beer. And I'm like the exact opposite. Like I'll be at like a divey Thai restaurant and I'll be like, can I get a white wine spritzer? And they'll look at me like I'm an animal, like a complete savage. I'm like, what's wrong with you guys? Just take cheap white wine, put
Right.
it on ice, and put some club soda in it. It's delightful.
To me, that's the equivalent of drinking cheap beer, though.
Right.
Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see that
can
there's
see
any
that.
moral high ground to be found drinking a PBR, but you want to have a white wine spritzer. Like,
Right, like spritzers are awesome. It's like, how do you
you
get
can
through a
drink them
flight to the
all
West Coast?
day long.
Right,
You mean they won't drink white wine unless it's really nice white wine?
right? They like get like uppity about wine, and I'm like, it's wine. Come on, like
I feel like you and Fred would get along.
Yeah.
This is
crush
Fred's
white
thing.
White red. Yeah,
Cheers.
I haven't even
Duchess, ladies
finished
and
my
gentlemen.
cocktail. Jeez.
but no breakfast. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
You're gonna
that's
have
the
another
move.
olive.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to eat a lot of olives.
Hey, Grant, we're going to do the Duchess questionnaire with you.
Yeah.
Okay, weirdest thing I've seen on a subway.
Yes.
Oh,
what is
we
the
should,
weirdest
we
thing?
should add that to the
Totally
questionnaire.
Some
Good
New
one.
York
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
Okay, shall I start with number one? Because I remember.
You don't have anything weird that you've seen on Subway?
I mean, I feel like once you're here long enough, it's not weird. You're like,
You're right. Or you stop
it's weird when
watching.
you're new. Yeah, you're like, oh, like crazy guy doing something weird. Like,
Yeah.
Grant,
I'm not ready. Yeah,
you're ready. You're ready for this question.
All
Where were you born?
Sacramento, California.
Next question.
Grant, where did you grow up?
Sacramento, California.
Where'd you go from there?
Directly after high school, Boston to Berkeley School of Music.
When were you there?
2001 to 2. And then I ran screaming back to the West Coast. It's like, it's cold. People aren't as nice.
True on both counts.
soft.
Yeah.
2001 and 2. I wasn't there. I was there 2000. Nope.
Yeah, late
90,
90s.
96 to 2000. So I just missed you. That's why. If had I been there, it would have been nice.
Probably.
I just was spreading Canadian everywhere.
What profession other
guys
than your
making these up
own?
as we go?
Kind of.
Oh.
We just don't
Just
remember the
forget
order.
ask a bunch of
Yeah.
random questions.
What
Oh,
profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Profession other than my own. Well, profession's a weird word, but I think working in film would be a lot of fun
Nice.
in pretty much any capacity. I think it's a little arrogant to be like, I'd want to be a filmmaker. Like that's something a child would say.
That's fine.
I'd just be like a key grip. I'd be like, this is cool. Like,
Yeah,
that's the rock.
Hey,
it's
the
like
director walks off
morning.
the set and you're like, can I try that?
I got
Yeah, I was
this.
going to say.
Yeah, you would be
I feel
fine.
like you
Yeah.
would end up exactly where you would want to be somehow.
Key grip too. Yeah, that'd be fun. Wait, what about you guys? Am I allowed to
That's
reverse?
not how this works.
fine.
No, no, we're gonna make our way-
Besides, we've already answered these questions. I just can't remember the answers to them. We may have to do another one.
Yeah.
Let's revisit that, like where we interview each other again. Anyway, ideas for another time. Question, Grant. What profession other than...
Didn't we just-
Did I?
Melissa,
yeah,
you
I'm
really
pretty-
drank
I know.
another
fast.
cocktail.
I don't know about that.
Wow.
I drink really fast.
Wait, you don't have
Fantastic.
like responsibilities after this, do you?
Just her
Have a
child.
child.
Let's get you a finger stirred cocktail. Yeah, if you have kids, you got to teach them how to make cocktails with their hands. It's an art.
Yeah, they can't use a knife or anything. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The twist off.
What profession other than your own would you not like to attempt?
President of the United States.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Congressman.
Yeah.
Can I convince you to try?
Can you please
I
be
mean-
the president of the United States?
Absolutely. Any sort of public office,
Yeah.
basically. Like the amount of public scrutiny in politics, I just absolutely not. I barely have enough like energy for just like saying hi to people on the street.
For giving that guy in the subway a neck
Come on, you're a
massage.
manager.
Yeah, no, I mean...
You're a manager. You can turn it on and do the,
Yeah, but I think like managing people and working with teams is different than being like a public figurehead elected by people with all their expectations. Like, well, screw that.
Fair enough.
But I'm also
Woo!
I'm
Very
also I think I'm
generous.
the type of person that would like get really angry about something in my community someday and like do something about it. But it'd be like a tirade.
To make everyone a drink. Oh.
But
that would
we're
be
putting
useful.
speed bumps here and like, but I wouldn't actually want to do the job of a politician. That would suck.
Yeah.
I don't envy those people.
I think that might be the first such answer to this question.
We got politician from somebody
did,
else.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember who, but
I wasn't listening, I guess.
Yeah.
Melissa was drunk.
But might have been.
What do most people say? Like, I don't know, garbage man?
Accountant?
We've got an
We've got
accountant.
Counted a couple
twice.
times, yeah.
At least twice.
I've come to really appreciate accounting.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, everyone
Actual
does.
accounting or accountants?
Yeah.
Because I can appreciate an accountant. I don't know
Both.
that
Like, I wouldn't
appreciate
want to do accounting work all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Satisfying.
it's fascinating.
Pretty black and
Yeah,
white.
you do something called balancing your checkbook, which I've heard about in movies,
I
but I'm
do.
not sure what it is.
Is there an app for that?
I think there are many, and I still balance my checkbook like by hand.
Wow.
What
Yeah.
is that, Grant? What is she talking about?
It's
How it works is when you don't have any money, you have to keep close track of what
Keeping
you
track.
spend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grant, what makes you laugh?
usually like anything absurdities.
In comedy or just in life in general?
Yeah, more like commonplace.
Like,
So on that note, what makes you cry?
Yeah, exactly.
not a lot. Movies, occasional movie will get me.
yeah. Beaches.
Beaches.
Beaches?
No, I-
Oh, the movie.
Right.
Oh, I thought you meant like
Not
the
like
thing.
going to the ocean. Okay. No, I remember like hysterically crying. Not hysterically. Let's rewind. whenever Brokeback Mountain came out, I like lost it at the end of that movie and was crying. And I saw it with my girlfriend at the time, and she was like, do I need to be worried? Is everything cool? And I was like, I just need a minute.
The flannel.
So good.
Theater.
What was that? I'm so bad at remembering things I saw though. But yeah, like theater will like punch me in the gut.
There is something about the
theater.
immediacy of it. It's so, it's I think similar to live music in a certain way, certainly dance. There's something that's very primal about it, about being in close proximity to other human beings who are presenting a story, who are making something where there was nothing, and it's primal. Like I think of, fires and cave paintings. Like we've been doing this as human beings to make things make sense and find meaning since the dawn of time.
Yeah,
and
actually, I
it's
feel like I
very
need to
cool.
go see more theater because it's like every time I go, I'm like, whoa. It's sort of like when I go skiing. I'm like, why didn't I do this? Well, they're both expensive activities, but
I will say, downtown, I have a big renewed appreciation for like downtown theater. There's so many new playwrights and showcases, and it's really affordable. And 9 times out of 10, to borrow a favorite phrase of our own Amy Cervini, it's much more alive and sort of vital and interesting. It's not going to be a home run every time, but it's so much more often for me more compelling than anything that's like the big budget Broadway
I think
hoo-has.
it's like capacity to like just theater capacity. Like when I go to those big shows, I don't feel as connected when you see something at like Barrow Street Theater and there's like 50 people there. You're like, holy cow. Like,
You can really you feel them breathe.
Yes.
So like if someone is sobbing on stage, you can't help, or I can't help, but like go there with them because I want to hug them. They're so close to me. Like you just want to,
Well, it's kind of like jazz. Like the medium itself is not meant for stadiums. There are things that have their place in stadiums, but like your molecules get rearranged a little bit when you're.
Yeah, I almost feel bad for people in other places that don't have access to clubs in certain ways, like because so many of the acts that we have, that I look at their touring schedule, and if I see like, I'll tell my parents or whoever, like, you should go see this group, but where they're playing in your town is like the concert hall that holds 1,500 to 3,000 people, and like the band doesn't have the same energy. It's not the same thing. Like I grew up going to see all those acts on big stages, and then getting to like see them in clubs is like such a different thing. Yeah, and it's such a bummer that clubs aren't more prevalent.
It's not a thing.
Throughout the country, let alone here. Like there really aren't that many. Yeah, but it's just a different experience. To really answer your question, though. I should have said physical pain.
Makes you cry.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's usually what makes me cry. If I have to think back to most times I've cried, physical pain. Yeah.
Fair, right?
I don't know why I immediately was like theater.
We're leaving it all in though.
Hilary Swank, she's the boxer.
Boys don't.
Million Dollar
Baby. Bruce Foreman did all the music for that.
That's right.
Cried twice. Saw the theater. Cried both times, even though I knew the ending the second time.
Yeah. Sometimes there's Steel Magnolias for me.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sally Field's speech at the
end.
cemetery. Come on.
There were days for me in high school where I just needed to cry
Fully.
and I needed a reason, so I would fast forward the VHS
Oh my gosh.
to that part and just sob in front of the television. That's every time.
It's a good tip. If you need to cry.
Final Duchess questionnaire question.
No.
Actually, I have one more round robin that may or may not make it into the podcast. Maybe it'll be bonus content for the website. But, Melissa, last question.
I have the final question
Okay.
for you. But first I'm going to take a sip of my gigantic second cocktail.
Well, once I found out you weren't working today and you have kids, I was like,
Oh, Hilary is beckoning
She's
for
going in.
more.
Going
Okay,
in.
listen.
folks, I'm
So
available for parties, bar mitzvahs, brisses.
he can multitask. He can multitask. Okay,
Calamari
Grant, while
tips.
you're pouring that Lillet, what is your favorite place in the world?
There's a set of beach houses in Santa Cruz, California, where I went as a kid, and my uncle would rent this like row of houses that are on the water. You just walk down, and you're on the beach, and, like floodlights at night.
Sounds like Grace and Frankie.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it's right there. Falling asleep with the ocean, like pretty
Come
heavy.
on.
Wow.
And like nostalgia from being a kid.
Totally.
Yeah. There's definitely
sounds
better
nice.
beaches, but
It's not just about the beach.
yeah, that's the winner.
Yeah. All right.
I'm going to Santa Cruz. In a couple months,
That's
look.
right. I
I'll
knew
look
that
for
sounded
those
familiar.
beach houses.
That's
are you doing
awesome.
I could fall asleep. Playing at Coombo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where the duet night is happening?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I'm very
Yay.
excited.
So listeners in Santa Cruz, look for Amy Cerini in July.
Thank you,
2022.
Grant.
Yeah, where are your parents
I'm
again?
gonna stir with my
Well,
finger.
We'll spread out. They're divorced, but I've got one in Sacramento. My mom is sort of Fresno and Santa Cruz. Splits her time.
Okay.
So
Is she a hippie?
no,
Okay. Just wondering. I think I heard there's a lot of hippies in Santa Cruz.
I didn't mean to sound so insulted.
I was like,
No, and thanks for asking.
No. It's just funny because she's a square, but she's cool. You know what I mean?
nice.
Like,
I
she's a
know
cultured
exactly
square.
what you mean.
Like, she just took herself on a trip to Europe with her girlfriend, and they went to Venice and Turin and Lyon and Champagne, and they're like, we just went and saw a bunch of wineries. I was like, you're cool.
Yes.
But then when I see the pictures of her, like, at Veuve Clicquot, I'm like, you're such a mom. She's like, look at me with this big bottle. Like, come on.
That's awesome.
Grant, Gardner, it has been a pleasure.
We're done?
We're done.
Oh,
I know.
I'm not done my drink,
Yeah,
but
I know.
we
Keep
are
drinking.
I'm
done.
going to have
with
another
this.
one because I have to teach for a
Can I
couple
have your
hours
orange
now.
wine?
So, yeah,
You're not gonna eat it, right?
No,
You're
I'm
not gonna eat it, are
Yeah,
you?
of course. Can I have yours too?
Oh, not
So
yet.
disgusting. We'll leave you on,
Delicious.
This,
on
you
that
know what
note.
this podcast
Nutritious.
should get sponsored by is Purell.
Grant, you're
Bed
one of
Bath
our
and Beyond.
very favorite guests.
Or maybe that's what the spatula is for that I wasn't using.
Perhaps,
Yes, I brought it for stirring.
as she eats the orange rinds.
Oh, good
Thanks so
times.
much for listening, everyone.
Thanks, Grant.
We'll be sober
Thank you.
next
Thanks for
time.
having me.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Harmony and Hijinks. You can buy Laughing at Life wherever music is sold and through our website, duchesstrio.com. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Duchess Trio. And please subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, or your favorite podcatcher. See you next time on Harmony and Hijinks.